Good morning. Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today is New Year's Day and I just put my daughter down for a nap. It is 10:15 and my husband and I woke up, had a slow morning, did breakfast, and finally just like showered and all that. And I figured I would do a quick catch up, and I kind of want to talk about some of my New Year's goals. I think a lot of people make fun of you for having like a New Year's resolution, especially if it's like health and fitness related, but I feel like we all go through seasons of our life where that's necessary or that's what we're really focused on. So if you are on a health and wellness journey for 2025, I'm so excited for you and I'm rooting you on. Right there with you. I was pregnant with my daughter in 2023, had her in January of 2024. And during my pregnancy, I gained like 70 pounds. I've lost 50 of that in 2024, and I have like another 20, maybe 25 to go. So for 2025, I really want to focus on healthy habits, wellness, dropping that last 25 pounds to get back to a place where I'm happy and confident with myself. So let's go ahead and get into my morning routine. I normally do this a lot earlier, but like I said, it's the last day of kind of our winter break. So we just had a really slow morning and it was really nice. So first things first, obviously shower, wash my face, and then get straight into skincare. So for like taking off my makeup, I used the Elemis cleansing balm last night. And then I always use this face wash. It's my favorite one. It's the CeraVe acne control cleanser. They have a foaming one and then just like a few others, but the acne one really does help me like avoid breakouts. I was really breakout prone. I used to get like these big hormonal breakouts. They were almost like cystic acne, like all through my 20s. I never had it as a teenager. But I've really focused on skincare, and then I've been using that for years. I think it works better than some of like the high-end stuff. So washed my face with that. And then my husband actually got me these for Christmas. So I tried one of these out last night. It's the Loops Rejuvenating Face Mask. They were really good. I liked those. I've never tried those before. And then I'm going in with the Drunk Elephant Bee Hydra Intensive Hydration Serum. So that, I love Drunk Elephant. I feel like all their stuff is really good quality and it's not too expensive. I mean, it's definitely expensive. It's not like drugstore price, but their quality is just so good. And I've used them on and off for years. I just love their products, especially they used to have like a vitamin C serum. I don't know if they still do. And then I think it was like a pink top like this, but I really liked that. Or maybe that was their nighttime one. Their nighttime one worked really, really well too. It was pretty intense. I haven't tried that in years though. So I go in with that, and then I always do a little bit down my neck. Next, I'm using the Drunk Elephant Proteiny Peptide Moisturizer, and it's one of those cute, like it comes out like this, which I just think is adorable. So do a little moisturizer. My skin is so dry. We live in Nashville, and my skin is just so dry this time of year here. Like I've never experienced that. I'm from Northern Virginia, and I don't know if it's just like humidity on the East Coast or something, but Tennessee is very different, and I have to chug water constantly in Tennessee and use all kinds of moisturizers or else my skin is so dry. Lather it up. I love the way that makes my skin feel. It's like one of those thick moisturizers that really like stays on your face, but I can do my makeup right after and it doesn't make my makeup like clump up. So I love that. Next, I go in with this Unite 7 Seconds Detangler. This is the best detangler I have ever used. I use it as like a leave-in conditioner. I used to use the Miracle, it's a 10 with keratin for years, and I loved that. And then my hairdresser had used some of these products on me, and I was like, what is that? It smells so good. And it does, it works really well. It's not too heavy. It doesn't leave my hair greasy. And I use a ton of this. I'm sure I use more than you're supposed to, but I love the way it smells. I did try their shampoo and conditioner. Like I said, I really douse my hair in it. I just am obsessed with it. I also used to have really long hair, so I think that's part of that is just out of habit. I used to put a ton in. You definitely don't need that much. So I have tried their shampoo and conditioner and I didn't like it that much. I don't think it's worth the money, but that detangler is so good. I think it's like 30 bucks. You can get it on Amazon. I actually have it in my Amazon storefront. If you're looking, all these products will be linked on either my LTK or my Amazon storefront. And those are both linked in my YouTube channel and then in my Instagram bio. I have all of those links. So everything that you see in this video, if you're interested, will be there. So yeah, back to kind of the 2025 goals. One of the biggest things I struggled with during pregnancy and postpartum was my image. I think a lot of women deal with that and don't really talk about it. I've never been like cookie cutter perfect, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I was in a really good place. I'll post a picture on the screen of literally the month I found out I was pregnant. I was going on this like health journey. I think I was like 150 pounds and I felt very confident in my body, but I just wanted to like tone up and get into the best shape of my life. And then literally a month later, I found out I was pregnant, which my husband and I had decided that we wanted to have a baby, and we were very fortunate. It was literally the first month we tried. I thought for sure that we were gonna have like a whole journey because I was on birth control for like 12 years or something crazy. And I had actually gotten off birth control like 2 years prior, not because we were trying to get pregnant or anything, but I was just so sick of the way it made me feel. And I was like, I don't think I've ever been an adult and not been on birth control. So I was like, what does that feel like, you know? I had gone off birth control in like September of maybe 2019 or 2020. And then we got married in June of 2021. Like I said, still like weren't really thinking about having kids at this point. And then fast forward to 2023, I got pregnant. I went into my pregnancy thinking that I was gonna have this like beautiful pregnancy and be so healthy. And I like ordered my prenatals immediately. I was like drinking a lot of water. I was just so excited. It's just such a crazy, big life change that if you're a first-time mom or if you're experiencing it right now, you know, like it's exciting, it's terrifying, it's so new. Your body's doing things like just rapidly and it's all out of your control and it's just so cool to see. But I did not have the best experience. I don't think I had a terrible pregnancy. I think I've heard a lot of horror stories with like HG and people being super sick. And I was definitely very nauseous. But the only thing that would prevent that for me was carbs. Like literally, I went from 150 pounds to like 180 pounds in my first trimester. And that is literally, I think, how much weight is recommended that you gain like your whole pregnancy. So I was pretty terrified at that point. I kind of always figured that I was gonna gain a lot of weight while I was pregnant, but I didn't think it was gonna be that bad or that fast. So the body image issues started very early on for me and nothing was fitting me. It was just really hard, I don't know. And of course, I'm so excited every week, like checking the app to see what, you know, size fruit my baby is. And all of that was just like so magical that it definitely helped kind of offset some of the emotions. This is the Kopari lotion. I think I talked about it in one of my other videos. So then the rest of my pregnancy kind of followed suit. I continued to gain weight so much, so fast, and my blood pressure was going up like crazy. I ended up having my daughter at 37 weeks in one day because of high blood pressure. And she was frank breech, so it was a C-section, which I don't know that I was prepared for that either. Something about laying on the table awake, knowing that your body is being cut open is another level. So that was an interesting experience. And then that was when all of the fun with postpartum came into play. So I definitely thought when I had my daughter that was kind of the end of, you know, the pregnancy, the weight gain, the body image issues. And I knew my body wasn't gonna bounce back overnight, but I was like, okay, at least now I'm in control. Like I'm not growing a human anymore. I can eat whatever, drink whatever. It's not gonna affect my baby. So at that point, you know, the whole like struggle with breastfeeding, that journey, I was able to breastfeed for like 2 weeks, and she just like would not latch. I was having so much trouble with it. Pumping is literally like, I don't know how people do that full time. It's incredible to me. And I really struggled with that because I wanted to breastfeed for a year. And I feel like my mental health was just in a spot where like I really needed to focus on myself and get myself kind of back up to, my husband and I always say like back to zero. So that was tough. And then postpartum depression and anxiety. Oh my God, you guys, that was brutal. Struggled so bad with postpartum anxiety, postpartum depression. I kind of always had a little bit of anxiety, maybe not a little bit, maybe a lot of anxiety. This is just that Unite brand again. So postpartum was rough. I would say rougher than my pregnancy actually. And it took a huge toll on me. We have a nanny, which is amazing. I don't think I could have put my daughter in daycare right away. I probably would have quit my job if that was the only option, because my anxiety was out of control. I literally, oh my gosh, it was so hard. And then it got to the point where, I don't know if you guys know, this is gonna sound crazy and it's super vulnerable, but it was like entering agoraphobia. Like I didn't wanna leave the house. I would get sick to my stomach, physically sick when I left the house. It was so bad. I remember there were 2 points where I was like, okay, something's wrong. This isn't normal. I can't live my life like this. And it was, the first one was I had an oil change for my car, and it was scheduled at a dealership down in Franklin, Tennessee. And that's like maybe a 30-minute drive away from our house. And my husband was gonna come with me that night because it was like a Friday evening and we just like to do stuff together. So we like loaded up the baby, got in the car, and I got like 3 miles up the road and I was like, I can't do it. I didn't even say anything. I just pulled into a neighborhood, turned around and started to come home, and I was like crying. I was so embarrassed. My husband was like, is everything okay? And I was like, no, I can't go. Like, I don't know what it was. I could not leave the house and I felt sick. I thought I was gonna throw up. It was so bad. So we get home and he's like, okay, do you want me to just take your car and still go? Because it definitely needs an oil change. And I was like, yes. So the minute I came inside, my daughter and I like sat down on the couch. I was fine, totally fine. Didn't feel sick anymore. It just went away. But I literally thought I was dying 30 minutes prior. And then the other big episode I had was I was on a work trip. It was in, I think, August. And I was supposed to fly back to DC for a short work trip. I think it was gonna be like 2 days, 1 night, nothing crazy. And I was kind of dreading it just because I knew I was gonna be away from my daughter, but I've been on a few work trips since having her and it was hard, but like I did it. And this one in particular, I remember I like got to my gate. I'm sitting there, I'm watching people board the flight before mine because I'm one of those people that like has to get to the airport stupid early. And I'm watching people board their flight and I was just like, I can't do it. The thought of like sitting on the plane and being claustrophobic and just not being able to get to my daughter if something happened, if she needed me, like I just felt like I was gonna be trapped. I don't know what it was. I was like, what if the plane gets delayed? Or what if we're on the runway and you know, there's mechanical stuff and we're just sitting there for hours and I can't get off the plane? And I just spiraled. I texted my boss. I literally sent her a picture of the gate and I was like, I'm here, I'm packed, I promise. Like, I can't come, like I can't do it. I can't. And so I just like turned around, went home, called my husband in tears again. And I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, this is crazy. I can't believe that this is happening. And so I came home, I felt so defeated. I was so embarrassed. I was like, what am I gonna tell my team? Like, I don't wanna be, I don't know. It was just like my heart's racing just thinking about it. It was a really hard time for me. And all of my family lives in Northern Virginia. So basically to see anybody, it's either like a 10, 12-hour road trip or a flight. And I was like, can I just like not fly anymore? Like what's going on? So I finally caved. And I say this because for years I did struggle with some anxiety and I was just like, this is normal. Like everybody deals with this. And I finally went and talked to a doctor and he was like, this is like textbook postpartum depression. There's like a touch of some other stuff going on. And maybe one day I'll do a video on some of the events that have happened in my life, because whenever I tell people, they're like, this sounds like a movie, you need to write a book. And it's crazy, but it's super private and personal to me, so I don't really love to talk about it, but it might make a lot more sense for some of the other stuff that I've dealt with. So yeah, 2024 was really rough for me in a lot of different ways, but it was also really transformative. I feel like I learned a lot about myself. I'm really excited for 2025. I feel like it's gonna be a really good year. We are currently building a house and we move in March. So that's super exciting. It's also kept us super busy and it's been really fun. It has been like the most fun thing I've ever done, but also very challenging. And going in with NYX Marshmallow Primer. I love this stuff. It's cheap, but it's really good. I just think that this year I've done a lot of thinking about the years to come. My daughter is getting ready to turn 1 this month, which is super exciting. And I don't know, I just feel like I'm entering a new chapter of life and I want it to be the best. I want to be the best version of myself. And so I've been really focused on tackling the things that I think hold me back. So things that I'm doing to make 2025 my best year is addressing those things head on. This is the Born This Way multi-purpose sculpting concealer. I use this as foundation because it's really good and it's not too heavy, but I really like the coverage. So things that I'm doing are addressing the anxiety and like PPD, which I went on medication for that. That was something I fought for like literally ever. I was like, I want to explore every other option before going on any kind of medication. I just feel like I've always been so scared of that. It's so permanent to me. I don't know. I guess I feel like if you start something, you have to take it for the rest of your life. And I'm like, oh my gosh, does that mean that there's something wrong with me? Like, why can't I just handle this on my own? I don't know. It's really defeating when you feel like your brain and your body are just like not cooperating. So that was a big struggle. I dealt with a lot of emotions around that. And of course I talked to my husband about it and I was just like, listen, I think this is the best decision. He was super supportive. He was just like, you gotta do what's gonna make you happy. So lo and behold, I've been on Zoloft since August and I feel like it's made a huge difference. It's really helped. I don't feel like it's totally taken the anxiety away. I think it nibbed like any depression I was experiencing because I've never been depressed in my life. Like I've never experienced that. That was really, really hard for me. I'm normally like very happy, definitely an anxious girl, but normally very happy. So that was really rough. So I feel like I'm addressing that still. I'm still working through it. I really want to start therapy this year. I feel like that's something I've really toyed with the idea of, but it's so expensive and working that into my schedule just feels impossible. So I really want to prioritize that this year and at least start going, at least try. This is the Rare Beauty bronzer concealer stick in the shade Happy Soul. I'll link everything on my LTK though. And then another big, huge insecurity of mine that has been my whole life is my teeth. When I was in high school, I had super crooked teeth and it's my front teeth, like the front two overlapped really bad. And I'll never forget, I was so, oh my gosh, you guys, it's my biggest insecurity ever, like ever. It affected my personality. Like I didn't want to smile. I didn't want to talk. When I met new people, I was so afraid of like opening my mouth to say hi because I was like, they're gonna judge me. They're gonna be like, ew, look at her teeth. My teeth are just crooked and I have an overbite and it's just something that like literally has always made me feel less than. And I've done a couple rounds of Invisalign, Smile Direct Club, and it's always been successful, but the Invisalign, the first round, I didn't wear my retainer. I just thought like, great, my teeth are straight. I don't need this. Didn't realize. So they shifted quite a bit. And then right before my wedding, I did Smile Direct Club and I actually had a really good experience with them. I will say I think it screwed up my bite because I like talk different now. I can see it when I'm talking, like my lips do something different than they've ever done. And that's really annoying. So I finally was like, okay, I'm not gonna live the rest of my life being like embarrassed to talk or to smile. Like I'm a happy girl. I want to smile. I want to show my personality and I don't want to feel like I'm hiding behind my teeth. Like, that's an awful way to live. I had the scans and everything in December, and my trays should be in 2 to 3 weeks. So January, I should be starting my Invisalign journey again, which is super exciting. And I will keep you guys updated on that. I'm gonna do like a whole video, like before and afters of Invisalign. So hopefully next year my teeth are perfectly straight and we can talk about what a difference that's made in my life. Fingers crossed. The next big goal for me is losing the last like 20 to 25 pounds. I say 20 to 25 because my weight has always fluctuated between like 150 and 155 pounds. I'm like 5'7", 5'8". At least have to get back to a place where I feel comfortable with my body and my self-image and all that fun stuff. So that is another big goal. So I actually started before New Year's because it was just like after Christmas. I told myself I wasn't gonna torture myself. We were going up to my in-laws for Christmas, and my mother-in-law makes the best food and the best like baked goods. And I was like, I get that once a year. Okay, sorry about that, my camera battery died. I really want to tackle that this year, and I feel like there's so much stigma around having a New Year's resolution that is like health or wellness related. Like, everybody wants to make fun of you for it, and like it's so embarrassing. No, it's not. We all go through seasons of life where we need to focus on other things, right? Like, too short to be miserable. So I really want to focus on that. And some of the things that I started doing throughout my, like even pre-pregnancy, was taking a probiotic and a multivitamin every day. It's like one of my non-negotiables. I wake up, get out of bed, brush my teeth immediately, and then I go take my vitamin and my probiotic. I take the Ritual Women's Essential multivitamin, and then the Seed Daily Symbiotic. And I swear I've tried like 3 or 4 different probiotics, and Seed is by far the best one I've ever used. I actually reached out to them to see if they wanted to partner with me, because something I use and love, I tell my friends about. I've like told my mom a million times, like, you need to take this, it's so good. And yeah, so I will link my code. It's Brooke C for 15% off your first month. And if you've never heard of Seed, you need to look them up. They have like a whole Seed University Instagram where you can learn all about the brand and their product and what sets them aside from other probiotics on the market. And it's a pre and probiotic, so it's called a daily symbiotic. And that helps it get to your gut alive, so it survives like your stomach acid, and it's just kind of the way it's formulated. It's like a capsule within a capsule. It's really cool. So I will link that below. But another thing that I feel like has been instrumental in my health journey has been the probiotics and daily multivitamins. It's not gonna fix all your problems, but it's definitely gonna help you feel better. And obviously, like, talk to your doctor and everything, but it was safe for me to take during pregnancy and postpartum. So like breastfeeding, even though I only did it for a few weeks, my doctor said it was totally safe. So definitely something I recommend. Try out. I am using my super old Marc Jacobs bronzer in 101 Tantalize. It is so good. I've never found a bronzer that I love as much as this one. I really need to get a new one. It's probably so gross that I'm still using this. The big things that I'm focusing on in 2025, and I think I've tried to convince my husband to go on a little bit of a health journey with me. I considered doing like 75 hard, and this is the Rare Beauty, ooh, no it's not, sorry. This is the Merit Beauty Kava highlighting stick. It's so good. I just like dab my finger in it and then put it where I want it, and it looks so pretty, so natural. It's not like glittery or anything. It's very pretty. It gives you kind of like a dewy, youthful glow, but it's not like over the top. At least not this shade. I don't know about the others, but I really like it. So yeah, I've tried to convince my husband, and he's like perfect, so he doesn't really need to do anything, but I was like, you should go on this little health journey with me. So just to be supportive, he's like, okay, I will work out with you. And I know nothing about working out. I've never been like a workout girl. I've always tried, like I definitely want to be healthier. I want to lift weights, but like workout classes are not for me. I get I don't know, I get like anxious in a workout class. I would love to love them. I feel like that's such a great way to like socialize and be around people who have a similar goal and similar mindset as you, but something about workout classes just gets me anxious. So I was like, you know what, something's better than nothing. I am just gonna, we have a treadmill, and when I was freshly postpartum, I did a lot of like really long walks with my daughter in the stroller, and then we did that basically like all of 2024. That's the only workout I really did to lose 50 pounds was just walk. I was trying to hit 10,000 steps a day, which is actually really hard. That's a lot of steps. But it was like a big goal of mine. So I did that most days, and I think I'm gonna continue that into 2025. I will probably be doing a lot more indoor walks because it is super cold. We're going into like the coldest time of the year in Nashville. Between January and March, it's like pretty brutal cold, at least for us. So probably a lot of indoor walks. I don't really want to take my daughter out in that. And she actually starts daycare next week, so I will have a little bit more freedom in my day, like before and after work. So I think that is going to be one of the methods I use to lose the last 25, we're going to call it 25 because why not? The last 25 pounds. Okay, that was the Rare Beauty mascara. It's just the shade black. I bought a little travel size of this because I wasn't sure if I would like it. I wasn't sure if it's one of those brands that, like, I love Selena Gomez and all, but I don't know. I was like, is that just gonna be one of those brands that all the influencers are talking about and it's like not really that good? And I'm super picky about mascara. I actually have only really stuck with the Falsies mascara by Maybelline for like a decade. It's the only one that I feel like is really, really good. Like fall below my eyes, and I don't know, I don't like spending like a ton of money on mascara. I think it's a waste. But that one is really good. I think I'm gonna go buy the full size of it pretty soon. Okay, and then last, I just set my makeup with the Urban Decay All Nighter. I have so many of these. This is like my travel one because I just got back from Pennsylvania. So I just brought my little tiny base like cosmetics case. I normally use like this massive one. And it's got all of my, I went ahead and ordered some of my like cute little Invisalign things because if you're gonna do something, you gotta have fun with it, right? So I've got some of like the little necessities. Like I said, I've had it before, so I remembered like what I used, what made it a little easier and more fun. And having somewhere to put your retainers or your aligners is like key. So yeah, sorry, I just went off on a little tangent there, but last thing is I have always wanted to start a YouTube channel, and it actually was back in like 2015. I had just started, I think Instagram like was just kind of taking off a little more. I've had Instagram ever since it came out, but I was having a lot of fun. I remember I was getting these little Ipsy subscriptions. If you guys remember back in the day, it was like, they might even still be around, I don't know, but you'd get like, it was like a $10 a month or something, and they'd send you like little trial size of a bunch of different products. And I would do like little reviews of those on my Instagram, and I would get so many DMs from just like friends being like, you should start a YouTube channel. I would watch you, it would be so fun. And I loved the idea of it. And I actually started posting a good bit of like makeup and stuff like that back then. And then I had a few tragedies hit in my life, and it was like, it took me out. I mean, it was bad. 2015 to like 2019 were like the worst years of my life. It was awful. I was dealing with a lot of grief, and it was just, the last thing I wanted to do was share my life on the internet. So I really shied away from that. And then, like I said, I was struggling with my teeth, and I was like, I don't want to be on a camera for people to rip me apart. I finally just got to the point where I was like, this is something I've always wanted to do as a hobby, just for fun. So here I am doing it. I started it in 2024 technically, but I really want to focus more in 2025 on posting regularly on YouTube. I post on Instagram, but I don't feel like that's my platform. Like, I feel like Instagram is very focused on being perfect, and I am absolutely not that. And I feel like it's just a constant competition of who's the prettiest, who's the fittest, who has the nicest things. And I'm just not in a season of my life where that really fits the mold. I feel like YouTube is definitely more of a community, and that's really what I want to build. So I hope that you will like and subscribe. I'm really excited to start posting a little bit more. I think I'm gonna do weekly updates on my goals and talk about what I'm doing each week. Definitely like updates with Invisalign. I'll probably have the cute little Invisalign lisp in, you know, a few videos from now, because I'll have attachments on my teeth, and yeah, that'll be fun. So I am going to blow my hair dry before my daughter wakes up from her nap, and I think I'm gonna try to go for a nice long walk. It's pretty cold out, so we'll see. But if not, I'll do the treadmill. Yes, I just did my makeup to feel put together today, even if I'm gonna sweat a little bit. So I hope you guys have a wonderful new year, and I hope that you have some goals that you are chasing after to make this your best and happiest year yet. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.